Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Martin Esiedu-Date. Here are the headlines for this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Coming up this evening, West African military chiefs prepare to use force in response to the current coup in Niger.
If presidential guards in Guinea and Niger take hostage their president, nobody in West Africa is safe.
Electoral Commission reaffirms decision to use the Ghana card as sole voter registration document as it opens registration for those turned 18 years ahead of December 19 district level elections.
We do not believe that upholding LI 2111 and enforcing the use of the Ghana card to prove a person's citizenship will lead to disenfranchising citizens.
Domahin Osajifo Osiadeyo Ajimambedu II criticizes construction of the new Bank of Ghana head office, describing the project as a misplaced priority.
Bosiana Yakobo na IMF no uche mudu mienu a Bank of Ghana nko ano ode mo 250 million ode ba ko okosi dane eh na be ni na je se be je bi asinji ni e ba na be yo.
In business news, Energy Minister touts Gold for Oil program for significant reduction in fuel prices. Meanwhile, pump prices increase in second window of August.
And later on the international front, a new U.S. ambassador to Niger is expected to soon take up her role in the capital, Niamey. Thank you for staying with us. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. And it certainly has to do with the big conversation within the West African sub-region. And the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madam Jean Mensah, has reaffirmed the Commission's decision to use the Ghana card as a sole voter registration document despite Parliament's disapproval. The Commission has set December 19 for the district-level elections with registration of persons who have turned 18 years from September 12 to October 2 at its district offices.
The district-level election involves electing assembly and unit committee members to oversee district development in the country. Elected members have a 4-year tenure, but low turnouts have often been a concern. This year's election is scheduled for December 19.
The DLE will be conducted in all 6,272 electoral areas, in all districts, with the exception of Nkrasa North and Nkrasa South in the Bono East region. The DLE for the two districts was not held in 2019 for security reasons. As such, the elections would not be held in both districts until 2025. As a commission, we encourage voters to take advantage of the voters' registration exercise and register to vote. We also entreat the citizenry to participate actively.
The Commission says preparations are underway for a smooth exercise, targeting 60% turnout. The EC also announced that the voter registration exercise for persons who have turned 18 years will commence on September 12 and end on October 2. The exercise will run at all 268 district offices nationwide for both online and offline.
Article 45A mandates the Electoral Commission to compile the register of voters at such periods that may be determined by law. It is in the discharge of this mandate and as part of the Commission's preparations towards the conduct of the 2023 district-level elections that the Commission will undertake a voters' registration exercise. The exercise will be held between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. each day, including Saturdays and Sundays. Each district office will serve as a registration center.
Meanwhile, the EC chairperson, Jane Mensah, has reaffirmed the Commission's decision to use a Ghana card as a sole voter registration document in the new CI and eliminate the guarantor system despite Parliament's disapproval.
The Commission has not undertaken a voters registration exercise since the last one in 2020. This means that we are seeking to add to our register some 1,350,000 persons. Therefore, we do not believe that upholding LI 2111 and enforcing the use of the Ghana card to prove a person's citizenship will lead to disenfranchising citizens, as is being alleged by sections of our society. As a commission, we find it unfortunate that our efforts to strengthen the credibility and integrity of our voters register, and by extension, our elections, by the introduction of the draft CI, did not receive the support of Parliament.
The Commission says it currently has 17,270,000 voters on its register and expecting to register 1,350,000 persons by the end of the year.
Away from the Electoral Commission, the Domahene Osajefo Osiadeyo Agyemang-Badu II has criticized the construction of the new central bank head office, describing the project as a misplaced priority. He argued that the funds could have been diverted to other critical areas.
The Domahene Osajefo Osiadeyo Agyemang-Badu II says it is not prudent for the Bank of Ghana to undertake the project. He argues that the justification simply does not add up.
Yet, the Bank of Ghana, Bosiana Yakobona IMF, Uchamudumienua, Bank of Ghana and Guano, or the more 250 million, or the Bako, Okosidani. Hey, Nabani, make a separation be asking, near Baba, maybe Mentiasia, Nanano Preni, Yantiasia, on ye.
Bank of Ghana says it is using $250 million to build a new head office. What is this? Because they are autonomous, they just choose to do anything they like. How can Bank of Ghana alone decide to undertake such a project?
He wants the president to intervene in the matter and conduct some investigations.
Bank of Ghana on independent to say on Friday, non the
We are appealing to the president to meet Bank of Ghana authorities as a matter of priority and undertake an investigation into the funding of the project.
Already, the minority in parliament has given the Bank of Ghana 7 days to provide information on the cost of the new building. This is despite the bank's explanation that its current head office building, which was built by the Nkrumah government, has failed a structural integrity assessment.
On to some other stories now, and the West African military chiefs are preparing to use force to restore constitutional rule in Niger if diplomacy fails following last month's coup. I was there earlier today at the opening of their meeting at the Burma camp in Accra, where the chiefs of defense have reiterated their commitment to undertake the operation. Out of the 15 ECOWAS sub-regional member countries, 4 have experienced coups leading to their suspension from the regional bloc, with 11 remaining. During the meeting to plan military operations in Niger, defense staff chiefs reiterated their commitment to halting the increasing coups in West Africa. ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Dr. Abdel Fattah Musa, pledged to restore democratic rule in Niger.
The planning is over virtually. Right now, this meeting is talking about pledges when, potentially we will start marching, toward the country. All the Western countries and all the Eastern countries, right, have condemned the coup, including ECOWAS, will prefer the peaceful means. There is a steely resolve among the ECOWAS heads of state to use all possible means to restore constitutional order in Niger. And then opt for a negotiated settlement. If they don't do it, then we will enforce restoration.
The Chief of Defense Staff of Ghana, that is Vice Admiral Amoama, said that this call by ECOWAS for a consideration of a military intervention is in order because it then will help stem the tide of these rising concerns of coups within the sub-region.
The charge by the authority of heads of states and government to activate the standby force is therefore in order, and it is in furtherance of our ongoing discussions.
The Chief of Defense Staff of Nigeria, who is also the chair of the ECOWAS Chiefs of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, gave the indication that the reason why this has become necessary is because they want to ensure that democracy thrives within the West African sub-region, specifically in some of these countries that have suffered coups.
I would like to remind us all that the purpose of our gathering is not simply to react to events, but to proactively chart a course that preserves peace, promotes stability, and upholds democratic principles across our region. We must remember that our collective actions today will shape the legacy we leave for future generations. The path that lies before us is not an easy one, but is a path that we must tread nonetheless, with courage and determination.
Niger has experienced 7 jihadist attacks since the coup in July, with the latest one on Wednesday killing 17 soldiers. Ghana's Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwu urged chiefs of defense staff to uphold their states' constitutions.
If presidential guards in Guinea and Niger take hostage their president, nobody in West Africa is safe. That is why I urge you to continue to be loyal to your heads of states. I urge you to continue to be loyal to ECOWAS directives and to give effect that the days that coup d'etats enjoy the support of our people are over.
The second day of the meeting will spell out details of deployment and logistic plans.
Let's now go to the Eastern region, where the family of the 17-year-old Washington Bay attendant who is alleged to have been assaulted by the police leading to his death says it will seek legal redress. They've warned the police not to conduct the autopsy on the body without their permission and involvement. The police officers are alleged to have assaulted Samuel Kwesi Boateng after he had splashed water on them while washing a car at a washing bay at Mamaso in the Birem North District of the Eastern region. Let's speak to lawyer of the deceased family, Captain Retired Nkrabea Ifa Date. Counsel, thank you so much for your time. Have you been in contact with the Ghana Police Service regarding this particular development?
I'm sorry, I have not contacted the Ghana Police Service, but I have filed a writ of summons at the High Court, and the writ is against the Attorney General and the Inspector General of Police. And I'm asking the court to give an order that there should be due process in the death of Samuel Kwesi Boateng, the 17-year-old boy working at New Birem car washing bay, who was killed through brutal beatings by the police led by one Boama. So this is the situation.
Now the family is also demanding justice. What do they mean by justice?
I beg your pardon?
The family is demanding justice. Exactly what do they want?
Well, the family basically, who instructed me to issue the writ, their position is clear that the boy was killed by the excessive beatings by the policemen. And against that background, the police should be arrested, those who did that. It's as simple as that, madam.
So much for your time. And Captain retired Nkrabea Ifa, that is counsel for the deceased family.
On to some other stories this evening, and the husband of former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapaah has been released on bail without a charge after being arrested by the Office of the Special Prosecutor to aid in investigations. Director of Prosecutions at the OSP told the court that Daniel Osei Kufuor was picked up because he was alleged to have tainted monies that had been found in the matrimonial home of the former minister. But counsel for Cecilia Dapaah noted that her client was unaware of the recent development. Lord Eduasare was in court and reports.
Director of Prosecutions at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Dr. Isidore Tuffour, prayed the courts to grant the application to confirm the freeze of accounts and assets of Cecilia Dapaah after she was unable to reasonably justify how she came by some $590,000 and 2.73 million Ghana cedis found in her Abelemkpe residence. He added that the freezing of the properties will prevent the minister from hiding any properties tainted in corruption. But lead counsel for Cecilia Dapaah objected to the application, citing the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 959 in Section 32(2), which mandates the office to bring the application for confirmation within 7 days after the seizure. Victoria Bath argued that the application was filed after the 7 days had elapsed. She also told the court that the fact that the said monies were found in her matrimonial home did not make it a tainted property. She explained that banks are routinely required to report suspicious transactions on a daily basis, and the OSP had ordered for the banks to furnish him with balances of her accounts as of August 9. Hence, assertions that a freeze on her account would facilitate investigations were unjustified. Justice Edward Chum then inquired from the OSP why the former sanitation minister was the only one being investigated when the money was found in her matrimonial home. But Dr. Tuffour noted that husband of the former minister, Daniel Kufuor, had also been arrested and granted bail. The presiding judge has hence fixed August 31 to rule on the Office of the Special Prosecutor's application to confirm the freeze of accounts. Lord Eduasare, TV3 News, Accra.
Away from the courts, the Education Ministry has challenged school heads' claims of unavailability of textbooks after the change in curriculum by the current administration. Speaking on the sidelines of a technology fair by the Pentecost University, Deputy Education Minister Reverend Ntim Fodjo dared authorities to list schools without the government's textbooks.
Just point to me one classroom that does not have textbooks. And I'll prove to you. I will prove to you. All that we do on the distribution of textbooks was done transparently. I remember that I took all media houses, most of you here represented. We went all the print houses in this country with your cameras. You saw the books being printed. You captured it. We took you to the warehouses where the printed books had been packed. You captured it. You even captured tracks loading those textbooks. What I expect you to do is follow up to the schools. As the buses and the trucks are delivering those books, follow up to the schools. Because definitely those books that you yourself videoed will not vanish in thin air on their way. They went to classrooms. So we would want you to collaborate with us. Let's visit classrooms. If there are some classrooms that are still without textbooks, upon the millions copies we printed and we showcased and transported, arrangements will be made for such a school to have their textbooks.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Elembele, Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boah, says he has been compelled by traditional leaders in his constituency to complete the abandoned cocoa roads in that constituency. According to him, discontinuing the cocoa roads project is a slap in the face of cocoa farmers and is even affecting cocoa production. There is more in the following report.
The Cocoa Road program was initiated by Cocoa Board to help resolve transport issues pertaining to the delivery of agro input to cocoa farmers and to facilitate cocoa bean evacuation. The Elembele district started benefiting from the program from 2014. This was, however, halted in 2015. According to the Member of Parliament for the area, Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boah, The first layout of the Yinase, Nyamebechre and Sandaso Road was completed, so he was expecting that the NPP government will continue from there.
That there was a halt to all cocoa project and that they will basically do an audit, and after that they will then resume. Was really a slap in the face of cocoa farmers across the country, because almost 7 years into this government, you go around the country and you see all these cocoa roads that were started, some almost completed, have all been left to rot, and the cocoa farmers are going through a lot of difficulties.
Kwesi Hansen is a resident cocoa farmer.
With this issue about cocoa audit project issues, today the project has been left bare. There is no contractor on site, there is no project ongoing, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing. These were roads that were more than 40% complete. And so we were anticipating the government will only come and then continue wherever the NDC government left. Unfortunately, they didn't. Today, as we speak, the roads have been deteriorated. What we have to do is that we have to make sure that those roads come back into functioning.
Right now, as I'm speaking to you, car cannot go there, especially when it rains. It's becoming very difficult for the market women to access what you call their place because of the nature of the road, especially when it rains.
District Chief Executive for Elemble, Kwasi Bonzo, who would not comment on the MP's assertions, however, indicates that GNPC took over the bitumen surface after some cocoa road projects were completed in the area.
Cocoa roads in our district, we had a access straight to Kropon surface graveling that has been completed. Now, once the surfacing was done, GNPC took over. So currently, GNPC is also doing the bitumen surfacing. So currently, there's no active cocoa road in our district. All of it has been completed. What is left is that after they've done the graveling, the GNPC took over and then it's under construction.
The Ghana Cocoa Board has announced that it will no longer undertake the construction of cocoa roads across the country after the completion of ongoing ones, following negotiations with the European Union and the International Monetary Fund on sustainable production.
In more news tonight, the Ghana Health Service has launched a national malaria elimination agenda aiming for a 90% reduction in mortality and elimination in 21 districts by 2028.
Malaria is a significant public health and socio-economic concern in Ghana, causing morbidity in children under 5 and pregnant women. It costs up to 6% of GDP annually on the National Health Insurance Scheme. The Health Service aims to address malaria elimination through the national agenda.
Recently, the world has introduced a subnational elimination, which is targeting elimination progressively starting from parts of a country. So I know there are people, when they hear about elimination, say, it is not going to be possible. How? Every day we are getting malaria, but we believe it's possible.
By 2028, malaria incidence is expected to decrease 50% using 2022 as baseline.
For the moderate to high transmission, we'll continue and expand indoor residual spraying, seasonal malaria chemoprevention, which we currently do in 7 regions in children under 5. We are actually hoping to expand the age range to older children, and malaria vaccine, which is one of our new babies that is growing on the block. Currently, we are doing 93 districts with the expanded program on immunization. We would be expanding even further as we move along.
The public is encouraged to check themselves regularly at health centers.
And still on health-related issues, we'll be bringing you a story where we'll delve into the brain drain issue, particularly in the health sector, where we know that a number of our nurses and doctors are leaving the country in droves. Details of that right after this break. You're still watching News 360 on TV3.
Gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint. As compared to other paint brands on the market, we take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Choose Sukasa for the highest quality, luxurious townhouses in East Lagoon Hills. 2, 3, and 4 bedroom in a gated community starting at $40,000 in Accra, Ghana. Sukasa, building on trust.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Who no like chop money? They what chop money is here. Collect your chop money every morning at 10 a.m. by simply dialing *446# and select option 2 to play Dewa 539 chop money. Win 40 times your stake with Direct 2, 400 times your stake with Direct 3, and 20 times your stake with Direct 1. You can also pay your numbers to win big. You only pick your numbers from 1 to 39, so winning is easy. Dial *446# to play Dewa 539 chop money now. Dewa,
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
And Pakwesi Asare is here to give us the very latest in the world of business news, and it's all about the Gold for Oil program.
Absolutely, and what the minister has been saying about the program.
Fuel prices have started going up.
Yes,
they have gone up again.
Yes. Some oil marketing companies have already begun increasing their prices, and I'm sure the rest will follow suit sometime soon. Well, good evening and welcome to the very latest in the world of business. Now, Energy Minister Matthew Opoku-Prempeh says the Gold for Oil program has led to significant reduction in fuel prices. The minister attributed the gains to the contribution of the bulk oil and distribution company, BOST. The minister, who made the pronouncement at the second annual general meeting of BOST, said government will not remove the BOST margin.
It is working in a very, very sensitive area of the economy. And if anything is to show, we should all look at what was happening to petrol prices between September last year and December last year. That in the space of 3 months, petrol moved from about 13 cities to 23 cities. And just with the intervention of BOST, how prices at least have dropped. The first time in Ghana's history such a kilometers drop has happened positively from 23, now still less than 13 cities. If we didn't have BOST, what would have happened? So when people say we should privatize everything,
I am distinctly against it. Post-margin. And I do hear people within here, without here, all making prophetic statements about post-margin. So remove it. The private companies haven't got it. We are not going to remove post-margin.
You heard that categorically coming from the minister. He says they will not remove the bust margin. Elsewhere, some oil marketing companies have increased prices of petroleum products at the pumps. Total Energies, for instance, has increased the price of its petrol to 13 cedi 50 pesos per litre from 12 cedis 45 pesos per litre at the beginning of the month.
Diesel is also going for 13 cedis 90 pesos per litre from the previous price of 12 cedis 45 pesos per litre. Gore has also increased its price of petrol to 13 cedis 50 pesos and diesel to 13 cedis 90 pesos per litre. The rest of the OMCs are expected to also adjust prices today. Earlier, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana (COPEC) announced that fuel prices will see an increase of about 5.7% in the second pricing window of August.
The Ghana Statistical Service says it will soon conduct the Ghana 2023 Integrated Business Establishment Survey, IBIS-1, in October. The estimated $15 million exercise is expected to build an updated business register for the country.
The Integrated Business Establishment Survey, IBIS-1, will focus on helping businesses escape the informality trap, while IBIS-2 would include questions to identify pandemic-induced challenges that businesses face. In line with the Sustainable Development Goals to leave no one behind, the Integrated Business Establishment Survey is expected to count all businesses in the country.
Typically, as a developing country, we know that there are a lot of informal businesses, but the previous economic census didn't focus more on the informal activity, though collected data on informal activities, but was somehow limited. But this time around, we want to go all out and make sure that every economic activity that we can collect data on, both formal and informal, we want to capture them to get a reflection of what businesses look like in a typical developing country like Ghana.
The 2022 IBIS coordinator, Anthony Kraka, noted data will inform decision-making.
Businesses must necessarily use this data to inform their strategic decisions. I mean, we know of the distribution of businesses or activities across, but you will not have any information until you use the data. So you need to use the data to understand where are your suppliers, where are your input sources. It makes it easier for you to be able to use the data and understand where to narrow down on, to also help the entrepreneurs, those who are yet to go into businesses, to be able to understand where to go and where to invest.
Field work for the IBIS will begin on October 17.
A two-day agricultural innovation conference by Cosmos Innovation Center has opened in Accra. Stakeholders from across the agricultural space will discuss the role of innovation in addressing the challenges facing agriculture in Africa.
The conference aims to be a space for education on the necessary systems to help Africa on the journey to meet the Sustainable Development Goals SDG 2, which aims to end hunger by 2030. It also seeks to find ways of improving agriculture to entice the youth, create opportunities, and bring economic development.
We would be having these deliberations. The objective is for all stakeholders within the agricultural value chain to really discuss pertinent issues and then come up with actionable points that we can look at and see how do we innovate our agri-sector, how do we get more youth and also a lot of MSMEs also leveraging on the innovations and collaboration to really scale up their businesses and create jobs for our country. And since inception, we have created and we have active 34 startups that are working in the various value chains in agriculture.
The National Project Coordinator, Tech Sector for the International Trade Center said the program is in line with objectives of ITC, hence its decision to support the program.
Cosmos Innovation Center for the last 8 years have been the leading hub building agri-tech companies in Ghana. In fact, over half of our agri-tech cohort are alumni from Cosmos Innovation Center. So it was a no-brainer for why we need to support this conference. It's talking about agri-tech, it's talking about agribusiness, the youth, investments, gender mainstreaming, getting females inside. All these things that align with our program and ITC is what KIC is doing with AIA.
A reminder, you're watching the Business News segment here on News 360. Now, GB Foods, producers of Gino, Pomo and Brisk Farms Food, prioritizes partnerships for business growth and development. The General Manager, David Aful, who made the disclosure, says the company will continue to invest in ventures benefiting consumers and customers.
Gino and Pomo are household names in Ghana's food and nutrition sector, sponsoring Ghana's most beautiful reality show due to their values and commitment to quality products.
Here at GB Foods, our purpose is celebrating local flavors. We see a clear symbiotic relationship between GB Foods on one hand and Ghana's most beautiful on the other hand, where we both seek to celebrate the different ways of life in Ghana, which includes how we even eat our food across the different ethnic groups.
The General Manager indicated that GB Foods will continue to invest in avenues that are beneficial to stakeholders.
The media on which we communicate, we take extremely seriously. TV3 as a partner has proven to be one of the serious players in the market, and we take TV3's programming extremely important because it reaches our consumers who we also want to meet and engage.
GB Foods Ghana is one of Africa's largest fast-moving consumer goods business with presence in more than 30 African countries.
That's it for the very latest in the world of business. For more business news stories, do also visit our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Kwesi Asare.
All right, so on to some other stories.
Yes, and Ghana is not only losing nurses to the Western world, but also other professionals. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Patrick Kumar-Boaji, who admits that it is virtually impossible to stop health professionals from seeking greener pastures, explained that those who stay to sacrifice for the nation are not appreciated enough.
Literally on a daily basis, you have nurses coming to the British Council to partake in examinations that will guarantee them some sort of employment into health institutions in the UK. The issue about brain drain continues unabated. The Ghana Health Service is highly concerned.
Definitely we've suffered with the brain drain. We know that it is almost impossible to virtually stop that from happening. We've seen it before. If the Western world needs 500,000 health workers to boost up, it's a cycle. It will get to a stage they will fill up and it will stop.
Data from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association reveals that nearly 4,000 nurses departed the shores of Ghana in 2022 to seek greener pastures. In the first quarter of that year, nearly 3,000 nurses departed for the UK, US, and Canada.
One thing we forget is also that we don't appreciate the people who stay. I think we also have to, as we ask for that, we must also focus on the people who sacrifice to stay. So, in terms of numbers, we are losing not only nurses, we are also losing some doctors.
Apart from the fact that the Ghana Health Service has instituted a measure which would replace these nurses every 2 years, what other measures have been put in place?
Since the last 2 years, is virtually double the amount of people, the number of people who go for steady leave, so that in the next 2-3 years, we'll be able to recover whatever we lost. We are currently having recruitment of additional nurses across the country. Improved conditions of service continues. Ghana Health Service have non-financial incentives where you are promoted out of 10 because you are in a deprived area, where you are allowed to further your education because you are. These are all additional things that we can. But we believe that the communities and everybody, media, can advocate for additional support to encourage people more to stay and also make them treat better.
Hopefully, these measures will have an impact and the issue about brain drain will be a thing of the past. Josh Quenin, TV3, Accra.
News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We have the latest in the world of sports right after this.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family because every smile matters. New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
Wait a minute, yo! It's on my nephew! Wow, this place has changed, yo! Yo, Ajwa, look at you all grown up, yo!
Some things never change, like Gino's quality recipe that gives my food that rich color, unique natural taste every time.
Smells good, yo!
Hey, sister, we did what Ponsano and Casa, just like I remember.
Uncle, hurry up and let's open the suitcase.
Ajua, chai, name shrink kwampa.
Best jollof I've ever eaten.
Wow, this is real jollof, mommy.
Gino dear, Emma Adriana de Ankasa.
Say Gino dear, fie.
It's delicious, yo!
This advert is FDA approved.
It's the Premier League, all on DSTV. All the goals, clashes, and moments. All of Rashford, Salah, and Saka.
Their start is getting better and better.
All in the language of your choice. All in HD. Available on all these bouquets to choose from. To watch on all these devices. Get DSTV with an HD decoder plus 1 month compact for 299 CDs. It's the Premier League, all on DSTV.
Sports segment is brought to you by Bell Pack Tissues.
Anyway, welcome back to sports on News 360. Now, Ore Kwampofo is with us.
Yeah.
And UEFA is getting ready to award some stellar performances.
Yeah, from last season. And Lionel Messi managed to find a way in there, and a lot of people have been asking questions.
Yeah. But he's justified. He's won a World Cup, if not for anything at all.
Yeah,
He's
I
won a
feel
World
so
Cup.
too.
Yeah, all right, so give us details.
But let's head to the details, where UEFA earlier today announced the nominees for the best players from the 2022-2023 season. The top 3 nominees were voted by a jury composed of coaches of clubs which played in the group stages of the Champions League last season. And then for some journalists as well were selected. With regards to the best player, the 3 nominees are Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, and then Lionel Messi. Remember, De Bruyne and Haaland led Manchester City to a historic treble, whilst Messi also led Argentina to the World Cup in Qatar. But it's not all about the players. The brains behind the success of these players would also be rewarded. Pep Guardiola, the mastermind behind Manchester City's treble, would be in there alongside the man that he beat in the final, Inzaghi and in Istanbul. And then Spalletti, who also led Napoli to their first Serie A title in the 21st century. And it looks like a very competitive 3 there for the coaches. Remember, the winners of the award would be announced on August 31 in Monaco. To athletics now, and we're just over 24 hours from the 19th edition of the World Athletics Championships to be held in Budapest, Hungary. Now, time to mark your calendars because the shadow for Team Ghana is out. And if you take a look on your screens, you can see Joseph Paul Amoah, who will be competing in the 200 meters and then the 4x100 relay. That's on 23rd August, and he will then join the team on 25th for the 4x100 alongside Isaac Bochio, Raymond French, and then Edwin Gadaye. Deborah Akwa would also take part in the long jump on 19th August. She would actually be the first athlete to participate for Ghana. So 5 athletes for Team Ghana. The aim is to try and bring in a medal, something that the country haven't done in 18 years. But let's focus on football, where Mediama will face Nigerian side Remo Stars this weekend in the first preliminary round of the CAF Champions League. Sports journalist Achita Maklo is not too confident the Mauve and Yellows have enough quality to compete on the continent.
First things first, they don't have the quality for the CAF Champions League. I don't believe any Ghanaian team does. It will take them a while to have the quality to compete at that level. So I do not expect that they will make it to the group stage. They will probably beat Remo Stars. They may not. But what I can expect from them is what Mediama have done every time they go out on the continent to play, which is to prepare very well. Yeah. So they are, as we all know, they are a very well-resourced team. When they go on the continent, they employ some of the best brains who have done it before to help with the team, from management to what have you. I mean, in times past, we've seen Bashir Hereford, we've seen Hans-Dieter Schmitz, Van der Ploem, I beg your pardon, leading the team out onto the continent. The last time they went, I think it was Tom Strand who led the team there, and they performed creditably.
Let's do some transfer news, where West Ham technical director Tim Steijn is in Netherlands to face the Ajax and have face-to-face talks over a potential move for Mohamed Kudus. The player is believed to be open to the move, as he's seen as a potential replacement for Lucas Paqueta, who's expected to join Manchester City this summer. After failing to agree personal terms with Brighton, it is believed a fee of more than 40 million euros should be enough to secure the services of the 23-year-old. After a successful first season in England, which saw Erling Haaland score 52 goals in all competitions, the Norwegian has opened up on his ambitions and relationships with manager Pep Guardiola.
I think there's a lot of people that have it, but there's so many things that goes in together. All these trophies the last 10 years has been so unreal, and the way Pep has been playing ever since he came to England. People were doubting him, of course, the way he's playing, that it was not gonna be possible and everything. And then he just takes the whole league to another level, getting 100 points, winning Premier League 3 years in a row. It's fantastic, and it's. Me too. I'm not strange, but I'm special, you know, in my certain way. And him as well, you know. Sometimes maybe he's had a bad night and he saw some clips from the previous game and he was maybe not happy with it. He comes in and he's a bit devastated, you know.
Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA.
Money Musa was same yansa. Mon networks are use no.
Embrahin, and I'm already charged. Munyam Faswa, everyone so. Ah, Mabwa, Capre, way. And that's what you want. Muntian Cabo Detroit. Vodafone say every Saturday, a Brevia Uber recharge from 5 cities El Cobiano, assigned with seek anymore up to 20% amount back cash. Our Vodafone cash so. It shock you? What did you hear say? Uber recharge. Say my Vodafone app. Vodafone cash, credit transfer, short code, MOBIA, Rodia,
Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana Cedi or more in Vodafone's demo promotion and receive up to 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone demo promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP Lifestyled, Vodafone, further together, and powered by 3 Entertainment.
Time now for entertainment news, and Anita is already here. Anita, the tradition goes on with
the
Key
tradition
Soap.
goes on, and Key Soap concert party is back.
Yeah.
Did you watch the first?
I did.
Oh, nice
it.
one.
Yeah.
Martin, you are lost.
I missed it.
You are missed. Then this particular story is for you.
Okay.
All right. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu, and it was one of the popular comedy shows on TV back in the days, and both kids and adults enjoyed the stage performance displayed by the actors until it went off screens. But the good news is that Key Soap concert party is back on Onia TV, and there's more in this report.
Misiaba kubi wachire haya. Wohemidi sa no sa bra ko hwegu. Se wo ho fe no agimi sa nam say. Don't try. Ko hwegu yemfa bra nka ho.
The golden days where families gathered every Saturday to enjoy rip-cracking comedy and drama on Key Soap concert party is back. The show that popularized the likes of Ijako, Araba Stamp of Blessed Memory, Bobo Kala, and Komode among others has been a favorite of many for years. To relive the good old days, Key Soap concert party is back on Onia TV.
Just will be able to be a Tiamawa. Ah, I wouldn't say, maybe for my was all for and make us
Celebrating 60 years of being a Mansa Mboafo, Brand's manager Roger Adepui is excited about the partnership and wants everyone to tune in every Saturday and enjoy.
Now, 60 years herald a very important milestone in every brand's life, and we are excited that the concert party that took us to the pedestal that Key Soap found itself is back, and is back with a big bang. And there is no other partnership that is as big as a platform like Onia TV. And ever since they've come into the media landscape, Obiehu, what they are capable of delivering. In fact, stay tuned. There are a lot of excitement. There are a lot of nice things that are coming from brand Key or Key Soap, and then Onia TV. Key Soap concert party is back. Onia Key Soap concert party. Abedu Minia.
Make a date for the all-new and exciting Onia Key Soap concert party on Onia TV this and every Saturday at 7 p.m. for the best of laughter, fun, and entertainment.
And some rather sad news. Ghanaian rapper and former Lynx Entertainment signee OJ Black, popularly known as the Biggie Boy Lover, has passed away. And here's how 3 Entertainment celebrates his works over the last 2 decades.
Over the time safe. Hey! You're not 11 already. Charlie, go find someone to chop and Charlie. Find some babies that take care of the hangover.
Some city. And that was OJ Black, the actor. In the early 2000s, the late OJ Black was known popularly as Marlon T in the famous Sun City series. His sense of humor and acting skills could not be overlooked. And then there was OJ Black, the musician, who many called the Biggie Boy Lover, signed on to Lynx Entertainment. Songs like Chaliwati, which was a major street anthem, Target, and many other features with the likes of Asem, Captain Planet, Easy, and Richie endeared him to many. In 2016, the news of OJ Black battling a kidney disease surfaced online, and ever since, little has been heard from him. Later, he became a born-again Christian and resurfaced on the music scene as a gospel artist and an evangelist. News of his demise on the 16th of August 2023 came as a shock to many, as some personalities have taken to social media to eulogize the late musician and evangelist. His former record label, Lynx Entertainment's tribute read, "Rest in peace to the first musician to ever walk into the Lynx studio to record his music. You will always be remembered for your kind heart and your ability to put smiles on many faces. Condolences and best wishes to your family. You will be missed, OJ Black." Gideon Danso of Empowerment Worship Center, who is the pastor of the late OJ Black, had this to say: "God has received his own. Today marks a day of a great day of celebration in heaven, a moment of victory in God's kingdom, but a time of grief for me. My son, the one and only Andini Akrashi, has crossed over from time into eternity. We know who you became and where you are now. Therefore, we don't sorrow as those who don't have hope." Niso of Mentor fame wrote, "Just last week we were together hanging out for the first time in years.
And may his soul rest in perfect peace." On that note, we bring an end to the entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ekufu. Have a good evening.
A new U.S. ambassador to Niger is expected to soon take up a role in the capital, Niamey. Kathleen Fitzgibbon has been tasked with leading the U.S. mission in Niger, during what State Department Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel described as a critical time. Kathleen is a diplomat with significant experience working in Africa. She was confirmed by the U.S. Senate as the Niger ambassador on 27th July, a day after the coup. The envoy is also expected to coordinate the U.S. government efforts in addressing the coup and supporting Americans stuck in Niger. Niger has been without an American ambassador since December 2021. The Ukrainian military has claimed gains in its counteroffensive against Russian forces on the southeastern front. Kiev forces are pushing forward from a newly liberated village in an attempted drive towards the Sea of Azov. The military said it had made progress to the south of Urozhain, a village a few kilometers from the Russian stronghold. Ukraine said on Wednesday it had retaken Urozhain as it tries to build southward momentum to split Russia's occupying forces in half.
And just before we go, a quick reminder that you need to remember to brush your teeth before you go to bed this evening and when you wake up in the morning tomorrow with either the Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, the Pepsodent Charcoal, the Pepsodent Herbal, or Pepsodent Triple Protection, because with Pepsodent, every smile matters. And that's it for our show. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Martin Esidu Dutton.
I am Portia Gabo. Have a lovely evening.